Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Why Are We Like This? Taylor's version.
Yes.
So we're going to talk into your ears about Taylor Swift for an amount of time.
Yep.
Buckle up.
Yes. I don't know which one of these is going to come out first, but we also recorded the Buffy episode today. So I'm just going to reiterate that there's no way that we could talk about Taylor in one episode either. So this is also going to be a series. We will do our intro ep, and then we have some ideas, and we will let y'all know at the end of the episode kind of where we're going to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
So when Taylor Swift popped upon the scene, I was but a wee little gal who was very hard-headed, and everything was like super literal to me. So like if I said, and I did say, I do not like country, it meant that I could not like any country, period. Otherwise, I was a liar. And then in college, that was when Red came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell that she was like, she was morphing into pop. Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, so even the like little part of me that was like, you're a hypocrite if you like Taylor was like, it's okay because she's going pop. And so Red was really like the first album that I like dissected and fell into. So that's kind of like my Taylor quote unquote origin is Red. And then I was, diehard for the next couple of albums. I will say, as we have talked about, that Lover kind of flew under the radar for me. I just like had a lot going on that year, and I was not feeling like very lovey. So I didn't really like, I listened to it, but like I didn't grasp onto any of the songs and like really love them until the Eras tour. I started
even after, because False God was one of our surprise songs.
Exactly.
And like you had no attachment to it whatsoever.
I didn't know it. Yeah.
Yeah. And like meanwhile, like Eddie's like gripping me because we both love that song. And like I like hadn't even been like something that I had considered.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it's happening. What the fuck is happening right now? Like, and you're just like,
I sat down.
And I just kind of like ignored you for the rest of the song. And then a couple days later, you were like, so I've been listening to Lover some more, and False God's a really good song. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did pay attention. I just sat down for it.
Yeah.
But I was watching and listening, and I was like, this is a good vibe, But she played Holy Ground was the other one.
Yeah.
And like halfway through Holy Ground, I was like, oh, if she played one Red song, she's probably not going to play another Red song. And then I was like, I guess I need to give up on on it. But then I think the reason that I was like, I need to sit down is because I just like did not remember False God at all. Like I was like, I do not know this song. And so it was like one that I didn't even know. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take the last bit of my shots so that I can really like go all out for Midnights.
Yeah.
And as soon as she popped back on with Lavender Haze, I was like up out of my fucking seat. But you have to pick your moments when a show is that long on when you sit down.
That's fair.
And I had on platform boots.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I really have been like bonding with Lover this year.
Putting some respect on Lover's name as you should.
I also feel like Red just came out at a time when I was going through my first like big breakup.
And that is like the breakup album to end all breakup albums until April 19th. So I was in middle school when Teardrops on My Guitar got really big. And I loved that song so fucking much. Like I had an iPod Nano video, and I bought the music video of Teardrops on My Guitar on my iPod Nano video.
I love that.
Yeah. I loved that song. I recorded the like fucking chorus off of the radio onto my phone to make it my ringtone. Like, it was a pink Motorola Razr. Like, this is the time and place that we're talking about and the person that I was. I was obsessed. And then Fearless came out. And Fearless is probably one of the first albums that I like really listened to and connected to.
Yeah.
I was going through a really difficult time in my life. I'm not gonna talk a crazy about what was happening, but that album was a life raft for me in one of the more difficult times of my life when I was a kid, because it like really just like ran the gamut of like what I was feeling and like imagining this future that was going to be this like more hopeful and exciting and romantic future. And just like it just meant a lot to me at that point in my life.
Yeah.
And I clung to that album really, really hard. And then I entered my I'm not like other girls phase. So I Speak Now and Red, I like knew the singles, but I wasn't like other girls.
Yeah.
But then when I got to college, it was around the time that 1989 came out, was like when I was in college. And actually Eddie was like, you should just listen to 1989, like the album. It's like really different from her other stuff, which part of me was like, but I liked Fearless. So that Red was different from Fearless. So I ended up listening to 1989 like straight through. And I was like, I really liked it. And I listened to that album to death, like to the point where I got tired of it. And because I got tired of it, I like stopped listening. And then that was also when she went through her like reputation, like the immediate, like the blackout and was gone. And then she came back. And I didn't like the aesthetics of Reputation when it first came out. So I was like, I just didn't really get into it.
I was so excited about it. And then I listened to it and I talked so much shit about Reputation in the first like 2 weeks. And then I was like, wait.
I think I listened to Look What You Made Me Do like once or twice. And I was like, this isn't what I liked about Taylor. So I kind of like, I was like, whatever. And didn't come back until, and then when Lover came out, I didn't like Me. Lover was really overplayed. And so like nothing was pulling me back in. And then Folklore and Evermore came out.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to Folklore when it came out. And like even Evermore came out and it took me like during that time, I listened to both of them like straight through and I was like, holy shit. And then I went back and I listened to, I basically was like, I'm just going to do a discography deep dive. And I did. I listened all the way through Debut, all the way back through Fearless, because I hadn't listened to some of the Platinum Edition stuff because I just didn't know that the Platinum Edition existed because I was 13, right? Went back through that, listened to that, Speak Now, Red. I went through the whole thing and I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, came to really appreciate Reputation and Lover because they're genius albums. They're brilliant albums. And like, that was kind of like just like going through her entire discography in the course of a week because I was working from home and I would just like, anytime I wasn't actively teaching, I was listening to it. I was just like living my best life. And that has kind of been, so I guess that was really the genesis of like my Swiftie like self that like I am today. So I've just been in it hook, line, and sinker ever since then. And I will follow this woman to the ends of the earth.
Hell yeah. Okay. So Red was obviously my favorite album and it stayed my favorite album until Midnights came out, and Midnights is my new favorite.
Okay.
But I also really love Evermore.
Evermore's great.
I know that Folklore is like the more popular one, but I'm an Evermore girly. I love them both, but Evermore is like above Folklore for me on my rankings.
That's fair. Fearless, obviously, is always going to be just like a huge, huge thing in my heart and soul. But also, I think Reputation and Folklore kind of round out my top 3. Also, I love Speak Now. I love all of them. It's really hard for me to pick. But I think Fearless, Folklore, Reputation, and Speak Now are like my top 4.
So let's just talk about this for a second while we're here and at this point in the discussion. So the ideas we have for this series, we could pick one album to focus on, and then we could dive into our feelings on the songs and all of that. So that's kind of like probably going to be the easiest way for us to talk about our favorites. Also, we could do rankings, which would be so hard, but I would love to see like because we're going to be so different. Like your rankings and my rankings would be so different. Also, what we kind of build is when we asked if y'all wanted us to talk about Taylor Swift is relating it back to Heartstopper. So we could do like an episode on each like couple / character group where we pick our like top 3 Nick and Charlie songs for Taylor Swift and talk about them. And then we could do, Tao and Elle, Tara and Darcy, Mr. Ajayi and Mr. Farouk, Tori and Michael, Imogen and Sahar. We could also do like, I don't know, like friendship groups if we wanted.
There's so many different ways that we could slice it and make little mini playlists for all of the characters.
Oh my God, yes. Do we want to talk a little bit about like just our Eras Tour experience?
Yes. We ended up tailgating. We said we were going to get there early to tailgate. We got there for like planning to get there when the parking lots opened. Got a little bit turned around because some of the signage was confusing.
Yeah.
But still got there pretty early.
It was like 11.
Yeah.
And the show started at the doors opened at 6:30, I think.
Something like that. Yeah. We were there for a while. We spent most of that time in the merch line.
Yeah, we abandoned Eliza and Eddie at the car.
To be clear, this was the weekend that the like special edition midnight CD that you could only get at the tour with You're Losing Me on it came out. And granted, all of us had the night previous because we went to night 2 and all of the people from night 1 had gotten their CDs and had uploaded this song to YouTube and stuff. So we had all listened to it, but like I still wanted it.
Yeah.
For myself, because like I had like the version with Hits Different as well. It's like I wanted all of it. I'm a completionist. I do not have all 4 vinyls though, and I think I'm okay with that. But I wanted all the songs. We'll put it that way. Yeah, so Ashley and I stood in the merch line for 2.5 hours. We didn't set a timer. We just like, I think I posted an Instagram story with the time on it to be like, just got in the merch line. And then we did again once we got our stuff and got out.
It took the entire time we were there, it felt like. We had like maybe an hour when we got back because we like did our 13s and I drank my like little beer thing that I brought.
Yeah, and I finally, because you, Eddie, and Eliza had gotten sandwiches from a bodega near my apartment. But I don't eat gluten. So I had made a little thermos of mac and cheese and chicken nuggets that was all gluten free. And I finally got to eat some of that. I had had a snack before I brought a salad and I ate that in the car. And then I brought this because I would want to be like screwed over by there not being gluten-free options at the stadium, which actually MetLife Stadium did offer gluten-free options for burger buns and hot dog buns. So shout out to you, MetLife Stadium. Nice. Unlike Yankee Stadium, who does not do that.
Rude. Yeah. And our seats were like pretty decent. I was like very pleased with the price to viewing ratio.
Yeah. Like, it was a bummer that there was one of the, like, speaker pillars that, like, partially blocked our view, but that wasn't clearly, like, it was hard to tell.
Yeah, those weren't marked. Yeah.
They weren't marked, so it was, like...
It really only messed up, like, folklore?
And only, like, the first couples.
Yeah.
Because I could see her during the one... It messed with, like, a couple of things, but, like, the video screens, anyway, it really didn't really negatively impact the experience at all.
I also liked that they didn't, just another, like, concession thing, they didn't open my drinks that I bought. Like, most places will open them, and so then you have to, like, carry them around. So then I just bought all of they also didn't have, like, they let me buy multiple drinks at once. So I bought all my drinks at one time and just had them in my backpack throughout the show. Yeah. Which was like clutch.
Also, something that was great for me was I had my plan the whole time that I was going to use the bathroom after Phoebe, before Taylor, and then teacher bladder activate until it was time to leave, and I was going to use the bathroom on the way out. That was my plan, right? When I tell you, that was also everyone else's plan. Yeah. So the bathroom lines are crazy. They had actually closed a couple of the men's rooms and made them also women's rooms.
Yeah.
Just to accommodate the demographics of the show, which I thought was funny. But when I like had told you, Eliza and Audie, like, text me if the clock comes up. Like, text me when the clock comes up. And I made it back right before the clock.
Nice.
And I was so happy.
So my bathroom idea I had was that I was going to go during Tolerate It.
Uh-huh.
But
the staging of it was so fucking
oh my
cool.
God. I couldn't leave, first of all. And I just didn't have to pee, which was wild because I drank a lot of liquids between, like, the alcohol I was drinking and the water I was drinking.
Yeah.
And so I stayed for Tolerate It, which is, like, so funny because I was like, that song's not my favorite. So that's the one that I'm going to, like, go during. And then I, like, had my Eras Tour playlist that I was, like, listening to leading up to the show. And I just, like, I love Tolerate It now. It's, like, one of my favorite songs. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay and watch this. And I didn't pee until we got back to your house.
Yeah.
Also, getting out was, like, a shit show.
But we had also all agreed that we were just going to kind of, like, vibe. Yeah. And that we were fine with just, like, sitting in the parking lot for as long as it took, which was, like, an
low
hour.
Stress. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think was, like, an important thing that we were all just, like, gonna let it ride.
Yeah. And it helped that we were, like, also riding the high of the show. Yeah. We were just like, we're sitting in the car like, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really happy with our surprise songs. Holy Ground is one of my favorites off of Red, which it's one that I didn't really take notice of until Taylor's version came out. And I just, like, it would come on and I would, like, be listening and I would just be, like, bopping along and, like, having a fun time. So I was really excited because it's one that for me, I really like it, but it's not one that, like, sticks in my head as one of my, like, ultimate top favorites.
Right. Yeah.
But I genuinely really enjoy that song. And so when it came on, I was like, oh, and it was, like, super fun. And she played it on the guitar and it was really fun. And then she did False God on the piano. And I love that song too. And it's another one though, that's, like, one of the, like, sleeper hits for me personally. Yeah. And so it was just, like, a really cool way to, like, develop a new relationship with these two songs that I, like, genuinely love, but don't always immediately think of.
Yeah. Also, I feel the need that I should say that I think another reason, a very big reason why I had such a strong reaction to not knowing False God and getting, like, a song I didn't know was that the night before she played Getaway Car and Maroon.
Yeah.
Which were, like, two songs that were in my, like, top 5, like, dream secret songs that, like, she played together. And I was like, one day
and she brought Jack out for Getaway Car. And it's like, what the fuck, Taylor?
So that, I was already depressed from that going in. So.
We should talk about what you did to me.
What did I do to you?
So she finishes the Archer, she goes down, the transition into Fearless is happening, and you look at me, knowing everything you know about me, and knowing what that fucking album means to me, and knowing that Fearless is the first song she sings, and what that song means to me, and you fucking turned to me, and you said, "Are you ready?" As if you knew. As if, like, you knew I wasn't fucking ready. You knew. And I did, though. I had, like, a religious, like, out-of-body experience during that song. Like, that was, like, top 10 healing moments of my life, was listening to Fearless live.
Yeah.
Because of how much that song means to me. And I just... Like, I don't have any videos of that song. I think there's, like, a short video that you or Eliza took that you guys sent to me, but I don't have any videos of that song or really that era because I was just, like, living in it. And, like, I spent the whole, like, the entirety of Fearless just, like, fucking, like, prayer hands on my face, like, crying my eyes out, singing. Like, it's one of my favorite memories of my entire life. Like, just... on so many levels, and I just love it so much. And yeah, but you kind of like broke me a little bit because you were like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, no, I'm not ready, Ashley. I know this was coming for a while now because I've been I know the set list and I've watched videos. No, I'm not ready. Thank you for reminding me of that fact. Yeah, and I just cried through the whole song. Like, tears of just, like, utter joy. And I was like, there were, like, younger, like, college-age people in front of us. And I was like, if they look back, they'd be like, what the fuck is this lady, like, crying behind me? And, like, I was just, like... And even, like, I had, like, been a fan of Taylor Swift for the longest, and I was really the only one of, like, the four of us who had a, like, deep connection with that album. Like, Eddie really liked You Belong With Me, but who our age didn't love You Belong With Me when it came out?
Right.
And that video was like
classic.
It was classic. Fuck you, Kanye. Because that was the video.
Yeah.
I mean, and so just that was, but like for me, I was like, this song is just so fucking special to me in a way that it's not to any of you other people in this group. Do not cite the Deep Magics to me. I was there when it was written. And I was just like, I was having a moment, and it was beautiful and magical and amazing, and I loved it so much.
Oh, yeah. It was such a, like, lovely, cathartic experience.
Yeah. Oh my God. And crying my eyes out to Marjorie.
I dissociated during that song.
I don't blame you. I wish I had.
With everything going on in my life, I was like, okay.
You started playing, so I don't know if you remember this part. It started playing and you were just like, I'm just going to take a shot, and you sat down, and that I think is the moment that you left your body.
Yeah, because my partner was like texting. He had just texted maybe 15 minutes before that song. I was like, did it start? How's it going? Or something. And I was like, we're at the song that I can't handle right now. And he was like, all right, let's just chat. So we just like text back and forth until it was over. And I was like, okay, gotta go bye. And like stood up when the song was over.
That's great.
Yeah.
I will say, like, for me, because again, my grandma had passed away a couple of months prior, and that song is about her like, mother. So for me, I had forgotten that it was in the set list until like a day or two before. I was like, oh fuck, I'm not ready for this. But it was kind of healing for me, like doing the like flashlights and everything. Like for me, I mean, I sobbed like a baby, and Eddie had to hold me through the whole song. We had a memorial for her like a couple of weeks prior. And my aunt had taken her favorite pair of pajamas and like cut up little squares for everybody and like put them in like a little like sachet with these like little like heart tokens. And so I just like was holding that and crying through the whole song. Yeah. I also cried through it during the movie in the theater.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Fair. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would go to the Eras Tour again.
If I could get tickets.
Yeah.
I tried to get Eddie to say okay to Buenos Aires. I tried to get Eddie to say okay to Indy. And he was like, no, you don't need to. And I was like, I do, though. And he's like, yeah, but you don't need to.
That's so funny. Do you want to talk about Tortured Poets Department?
I do.
April 19th, we're getting a new album.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited. I fucking am obsessed with that title. I can't wait. I was convinced it was going to be like a full collab album, but not the set list. Do you think there's going to be more that didn't, like, I think there might be some more features that aren't revealed yet.
I think that this is the core album, but I also think that there have been, so no word from Target yet, but there's been a Target exclusive for every album as far back as I can remember. So there's going to be a Target exclusive, and that's probably going to have an exclusive song on it.
Right.
I wouldn't put it past her to release. I feel like they're saying that the like version with the manuscript is the deluxe edition, but like I wouldn't put it past her to put out an actual deluxe edition with a couple of bonus songs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past her to put out a couple more vinyl and or CD variants, like she did for Midnights and 1989.
Yeah. I just think there's no way that Lana Del Rey is not on this album with the way that they were like attached at the fucking
head. I mean, it's possible that she's involved as like a producer and songwriter, but not on mic.
So true.
I did not know how badly that I personally needed a Taylor Swift Florence and the Machine collab until I saw that.
So we actually talked about that when on New Year's Eve, whenever Zach and I watched Eras Tour movie that night. And so that was during Folklore. He was like, man, you know what would be great? Taylor Swift and Florence and the Machine. So we had like a whole discussion about it. And so when the track list for this dropped, I was like, hey, do you remember that discussion? He was like, yeah. I was like, it's fucking happening. Like, sent him the screenshot. He was like, hell yeah.
I'm also like really intrigued for the Post Malone collab.
Same.
Post Malone is not my favorite.
Yeah.
I like Sunflower, and that's about it.
I haven't done a deep dive in his music because his early stuff was like not.
Yeah.
I wasn't into it like at all. But I do fully respect him as an artist, and I will eventually do a deep dive. But I am super interested to see like what their collaboration will turn out to be like.
Yeah. I am not at all ready for whatever this album is going to be. Like just this track list is incredible and going to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And we're gonna be together the next day.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And Eliza will be with us too. It's gonna be like is Eddie coming? Mm-hmm. Yay, we're gonna have like a little Eras Tour reunion.
Yeah.
To celebrate the new album.
Mm-hmm. So I think that we've talked your ear off about Taylor Swift for long enough for now. I don't know how long the final episode is going to be, but this recording is an hour and 40 minutes long.
All right. We love you. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.